Traveling to Volskaya Industries. Initiating match. Ready for battle.
I'm with you.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
I wish I'd brought my stick and pad. I'm sure I could have found a pickup game here. Hello.
Three, two, one. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Patience.
I'm in aim.
Enemies detected.
Please move it.
Forward carrier.
I can put some benefit is online. Perfect alarm.
Join me if you will. Burn her, little servant.
Objective A captured. New defense point. Objective B.
Cover me.
Go time. Still hand here?
You are advised to Let me get you
Feel
patched
that.
up.
Feel it?
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
Hammer down. These are those if you
Helden sterben nicht.
I'm ready to initiate
You're going to be
self-destruct
okay.
sequence.
not as young as they used to be.
I've seen worse. You're going to live.
Heroes never die. Damage and activated. Healing stream engaged. You needed a doctor?
Now that's
Ich bin da.
Come out and face me.
for your safety. Behind the gun. Forward barrier. Armoring
Can anyone hear me?
Justice reigns from above.
Feel that? Nothing's gonna stop. Check this out.
What? Hold on, did you just hear me? Can you hear me right now? Oh my god. Actually? Tell me again if you actually can hear me. Okay, I've been losing my goddamn mind. Now, as for the actual game that's been going on, we see Philadelphia and London. Philadelphia has done pretty well to take half of the second point so far. Let's see if they can manage to take the rest of it. With that first pick onto Cybersource using the Pulse Bomb, certainly it's going to be a lot easier in the meantime. However, they're going to have to contend with a lot, least of which being the Diva Bomb. It didn't kill anyone, but it very possibly could have. It certainly did enough damage and split the team apart enough to leave open some chinks in the armor. They'll be able to keep themselves alive using that Lucio sound barrier, but let's see if that's actually enough. This fight is going on a bit long, and generally speaking, the longer a fight goes, the more of an advantage it is for the defending team. We see that as James Knight, finally using that barrage, manages to find two, start putting things a little bit more back in the London boys' side. Turbo Kermit also coming out in the Doom Fist, certainly can't knock that hero even after the nerfs. Rugmark also on the hamster ball. He just wants to contest for as long as he can. It's certainly a valid strategy. It's certainly something that you can do, and so far he's doing alright. Spends a little bit too long inside of the dragon, but can't really fault him for that. Seems like a pretty colorful place to be, like a 80s disco. Unfortunately for him, it's just as deadly. James farming another one of these barrages. He just had one. As we get down, it's only about 15 seconds left on the clock. He is dead. He will not have it just yet, but his team can stay alive for just a little bit longer. I don't think they're gonna really manage it though. Smeka takes out two with that fire strike. He also has the Earth Shatter in order to try to put things in the dirt, in the ground, slam it down. Let's see if he sees an opportunity for it. James is going to get an opportunity to reintroduce himself onto the battlefield, but as soon as he tries to bring some safety, some comfort back to his team, it's already over.
Score 0-2. Switching sides.
Why is Philly running this comp? Here's the thing. I literally had just had to go from like 0 to 100 there in my own brain. Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware that Philly has Ryan and Orisa, and I'm aware that that's weird. But what you have to keep in mind is, I literally was just surprised that my solution to the problem worked. Mana says they're running it because they didn't have an off-tank player playing. That's not really an excuse. You just have someone play off-tank. D.Va's not very hard. Alright, I need to fix literally one more thing, and then I'll actually be able to cast in like a half-decent way. Why is nobody playing goats? Well, here's the thing, Phi. The reason why nobody here is gonna play goats is a very, very simple reason. And the very simple reason is that the people in this league have tried goats, and guess what? They're all bad at it. With the exception of like 2 teams, no one can get it done properly. And even if they could, they just get bored by it. they don't want to play it. So most of the time, even the teams that are good at it don't end up running it anyway. However, in Philadelphia's case, it might be worth it to swap onto it on the second point defense, considering that they're playing against dive goats, a variation that London actually likes to play a pretty standard amount, I would say. It's been quite a while since I've last cast for them, but I remember that they like kind of flexing around a little bit with this type of hero composition. Now, they basically just took that. Not even a minute passed, but they still got it basically immediately. And the question is, what is Philadelphia's response going to be? We see Smeka going on to the Zenyatta, Alligator going on to the Hog, later going on to the Brick. This is much more... I'm going to go ahead and say that this is much more of a static, sort of very harsh defensive comp. As long as they don't get flanked, they might be okay, but it's going to be a bit of a tall order. Sangren is also going to need to have that Harmony Orb on him basically at all times, otherwise it'll be very easy for the enemy team to focus him down. With the hit scan hamster, Zenyatta just existing, D.Va being able to fly at him, and Konal being able to land some lucky shots. But now, the aggression is going on to the point. The fight is scattered all over the place immediately, but two players on the Philly side are already nated. Smeka will be the first to fall. Now, keep in mind, the spawn advantage that his team's going to have, and Konal getting traded right afterwards is such a terrible thing. Sangren manages to take Boy out. Now, both defensive support ultimates being used by London, so this is a pretty bad fight for them. They might just want to get out. At this point, all they're going to do is feed quite a lot to the enemy team, but that's not stopping them. London, those feed boys, and we see them run the feed ball right now.
Team up for special attack.
It's Hal just kind of doing London's job for him, taking them and using the pull and pulling them away. He's basically helping them. He's like, hey boys, get out of here. You don't want to be in here. Pulls them around a little bit more to get some chip damage in. It's not going to really succumb or suffice to being very much, but going into this next fight, it's going to be pretty interesting to see whether or not Sangren can get a lot of value out of this barrage. Let's see if Wesley, the D.Va, will have the foresight to use the defense matrix on. He might not even have the chance. Hooked right in that hog hook. Massive. Well placed. Sangren going in for the kill. He might barrage here, he might not. He certainly has the option. The D.Va is way far ahead, and he manages to at least get one, but that might not be enough. So many people are already dead on the side of Philadelphia, and Itzhal can only keep himself going for so much longer. Marvel losing the duel to the D.Va. What can you expect from a support player against that massive DPS tank hybrid? Round 2 is complete. London took it way faster than the Philly boys, and because they have so much extra time, more importantly because they have more than a minute, they're going to be able to go in, only have to take one tick, and Philly, in the best of circumstances, will only be able to tie this game, tie this round. When does Boston play? That's a good question. Mana, we have a schedule. Pull it up, please.
Ready for battle.
I think Boston plays tomorrow. Is that right?
Attackers incoming.
Does Seoul play this weekend? Yes, Seoul does play. I think they play the next game. Oh, and look at that. London, one of the few teams that actually kind of likes running goats and are decently good at it. And it's mainly because so many of their players are support mains that it kind of fits right into their style. So many of them are support mains. Grub, main tank, and Wesley basically relegated to being a permanent D.Va because anything else, not so great. Let's see if they can beat Sangren and the double shield composition that Philadelphia is running, though. They're just running right past. They're forcing Sangren to relocate in order to get any sort of value out of this pick of his. our charges in, but it'll just be into that golden Orisa and Cybersaurus. Does the damage that we know him for so dearly. They're just getting pushed off the point now. Philadelphia have almost lost this just by a technicality. They've managed to bring themselves back onto the point, but at what cost? And finally, they step off for just long enough. That's it. London take the first map. Not bad at all. Not bad at all for the boys in light blue. Good combo there with the pin swing fire strike. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. It's not exactly a advanced maneuver, but it's certainly one that is good to have in the pocket. And it's one of the things that show why Smeka is one of the more effective Reinhardts in the league. Unless it was the other main tank. To be honest, I might lost track. I'm still kind of getting my bearings. Alright, so now here comes the fun part where I have to try and literally juggle 4 different things. So now I have to go and check the schedule and see what the next map is. The next map is going to be Oasis. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and load up the next map. Are you with me? Are you with me? Okay, not very complicated just yet, but stay with me. Okay, so Oasis is loaded up. Now, I have to check the Discord and make sure that neither one of the teams want to have a break. Okay, so it doesn't look like either one of the teams wants to have a break. So we should be good to go, unless they want to make a substitute. Now this time around, we shouldn't have that problem because it doesn't look like there are any subs available for either team in the spectators section. So thank God for that. Now, I have to go onto Streamlabs. I have to change what the actual scores are. Make sure that I don't mess this up. That would certainly be embarrassing. Change the score on the left from a 0 to a 1. Boom. Here's what you have to realize. Ladies and gents, friends and whatever. I haven't casted in like it's been like a month, hasn't it? But you know what? I'm still fresh as a flopping fish. The captain of London has said that he is ready. So now I'm going to see if the captain of Philly says that they are ready. They said that they're ready. Perfect. Perfect. So I can get back to yelling at the screen for another 15 minutes. Let's go.
Welcome to Oasis.
No excuses. No excuses. Excuse you? You trying to start a fight? Because I'll tell you what, I have been awake now for 19 hours, and I will start a fight. Also, you know what? I'm not going to say anything about what I've just noticed I've done terribly wrong. I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm just going to let it ride. And if anyone sees what I've done wrong, then go ahead and put it in chat. But I will fix it after this game. So you're only gonna get this game to figure it out. It's pretty obvious if you know the process I have to go through to set up these games. But if you don't, it can be a little bit tricky. Anyway, going back as to what the teams are actually playing, it's looking like we're gonna have triple tank dive from the Philly side, maybe taking a page out of London's book. And meanwhile, London, what are they gonna be doing? They're gonna be running triple tank, 2 support, solo DPS. It's not really a weird comp. It's just kind of interesting by the fact that it's kind of not standard. Running a hog as a DPS, it's certainly more viable these days, but not something that we usually see. Later, already taken out. That's going to be pretty awful for the Philly side. And currently, it's just getting worse. It's now currently a 4v6. Make that a 3v5 in favor of the London boys. They should really be moving to point at this point. It's looking like slowly that's what they're going to be doing. They take the first capture. Now Philadelphia is in a bit of a tricky situation here. Smeka is coming up on his minefield, and now he has it after bumping around the man in the iron armor. And Grub maybe makes a bit of a misplay there. Who's to say? In either case, he's dead as a doornail, and now Smeka's ready to go in, but not as ready as Wesley's Diva Bomb, which finds 2, both supports. You know what that means. Philadelphia is not going to get a push in anytime soon, and the alligator goes down as well. So it's just getting worse and worse. It's just getting worse and worse, and guess what? London has 5 ultimates. London has 5 ultimates right now, and they're already at 40%. So, you know.
My ultimate is ready.
Liz figured it out. Yeah, Liz figured it out. I don't know what's happening with them. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. But she's right. Yeah, they're wrong. I don't even know why. Who cares? In either case, 2 picks already in favor of the London boys. Pretty unsurprising. They've certainly invested a lot into this fight so far. 3 ultimates by my count. Sengern has fallen. Okay, so I've gotten them confused because of the team colors. In either case, London's still winning. That's kind of all that matters. Now quad tank, where we see quad tank here for the Philadelphia boys. Okay, sure. Sure. Is that going to be enough to deal with the might of the Diva Bomb? Apparently not. Wesley's bomb finds Marvel Man. Really, I feel bad for the side of Philly. I feel bad for them because they really haven't even gotten in like 2 pushes. They got in 1 push, and that was like it.
Score 1-0.
See, Kigo, I appreciate that. I appreciate that you didn't want to spoil it. Honestly, I have no idea what the problem is. I actually don't get it. I don't get why it says that Turbo, like, we're looking at him in first person right now, right? And we see, in first person, he's blue. Blue as the ocean. But then, up top, he's a dull orange, like Philadelphia's colors. Unfortunate. I'll fix it. If it even can be fixed. Like, it's always gonna be wrong in one direction.
At your service.
Anyway, we see Philadelphia staging here. They're ready to go in. They kind of want to assess their situation. They don't want to certainly lose as badly as they did last time, so maybe being a little bit more cautious, but against the aggressive style that London has, that's exactly what they want. And Turbo Kermit finds Smeka. The alligator, also falling. And it's all, just one more domino crashing down. Sengern gonna try and get out, maybe at least do a little bit of damage, because he's almost certainly not gonna get away with this. Is he gonna get away with this? He didn't get away with this. Later, on the Hanzo, pretty good pick here. Can get a insta-kill onto either one of the supports if he just lands one of those perfectly placed arrows. We'll see if he's able to manage it. His team is almost certainly going to need it. They've been struggling to find the first pick in these fights, and even more so, they've been struggling to really find any headway in any of these engagements whatsoever, like in the entire set.
You're powered up. Get in
Kana gonna give that nano to his boy. He's already managed to find Smeka. Grubmerk has, and now Marble Man is the next to crash down. Marble Man getting shattered. Get it? Marble Man got shattered? I'm hilarious. Anyway, Sengar, he still has this ultimate. He's not gonna pop it. Why would you? Your whole team's already dead. James Knight has this Graviton Surge. Honestly, just getting worse and worse for the side of Philly. It's already 66%. That means it's 2/3 of the way. That means we're probably in about last fight territory here. And look at what the side of London has. They have both defensive ultimates, so they aren't dying anytime soon as long as they're smart about it. Slam comes in, doesn't even matter because he got a bubble. Smeka gets melted. Sengar, trying to do his very best. Yeah, at least get Cyber. That's probably about it. But actually trading pretty evenly now. It might not even matter. Now they're caught in the Graviton Surge. That's London just wrapping it right up. That's gonna be, well, you'll touch, but that's about all you're gonna do, isn't it? Yep, Smeka. Dead, just like Harambe. Yep, that's right, I brought dead meme back to life, but I cannot bring back to life Philadelphia's chances of winning this round and this fight. I think that is about as dead as can be. It's Hell taken out. He's been trying his very best out here. Taken out as well. It's not even close. It's not even anything. It's a slaughter. Monkey's back in. I guess he did come back, at least for one encore run, but that's all he's gonna get. London wins the second map. They just win one more. They advance.
Play of the game.
Justice reigns from above.
Look at Wesley. He's huge. He's massive. Look at the skill. Look at it. Look at it. 67% average energy. Jesus. Okay. Yeah, Narrator, here's the thing. We have to realize is, and we should probably specify this at some point. We are a league that's basically like, what are we? Some people are in golds, some people are in diamond. It's kind of weird. Trivia, why is Wesley still the weak link? I'll tell you why. Wesley is still the weak link because even though everyone else, I think my mic might have cut out. Has my mic cut out? Hello? Oh no. Oh no. Tell me, you fools, has my mic cut out? Okay, it hasn't, because it does not say that anything is happening on the mixer sound thing. So I just wanted to make sure. Okay, if you say so. Anyway, so Wesley is still the weak link because Wesley is a nonce. And that's kind of it. That's really all. Like they managed to boost him by playing him on Diva, but like if you ignore that, then like, have you seen him try and play Zarya? I haven't, because London tried scrimming it, and they saw that it was terrible. But anyway, either way, the fact of the matter is that London is up 2-0. And whether or not West is a nonce, you can't really change that. You're the only person that ever pronounced my name right first try. And I'll tell you why, son. I'll tell you why. I've been pronouncing difficult names for this league for like 5 months now. And it has become an art that I think I'm pretty proficient in at this point. Now, The third map is one of my personal favorites. We're gonna go to Nimbani. I passed it. I guess I'm a nonce. Okay, so let's see if anyone needs a break. No, apparently not. We're ready to go. Oh, they actually sent that 2 minutes ago. So I guess that we're good to go. All right. Can my gold friend join AHC? Well, we almost certainly have spots left on Soul. I feel bad for Soul. Soul is a team that I tried very hard to help.
Initiating match.
I coached them a little bit, gave them some VOD review, but at the end of the day, they're like the gold team of the league, and you know what? I love them for it. I love them for it. Good old lads. Rip Soul, yeah. Hold on. So I would like to point something out here. I would like to point something out. The colors at the top
Ready for battle.
have fixed themselves. I didn't do anything. But they're fixed now. Someone play the music like that theme from the X-Files. Na, 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 na. Is that it? Is that the theme? I don't think it is.
Excuse me for
Look up the theme on YouTube and play it for yourself. Anyway, on the not even defense. On the offense, we have Sangarn on Bastion and double shield tank. It seems like there's a little bit of a theme with what Philadelphia keeps on running. Meanwhile, on defense, we have basically dive. Basically dive. I mean, it's not full dive, necessarily. I would say it's like a weak version of dive. But it's something. We'll see whether or not Sangarn is able to find the magic bullet, and by that I mean he's Bastion, so it's gonna be magic bullets to try and win the day for his team here. They teleport right up top. They're ready to duel the enemy team. It's time to kill Wesley. He's not quite dead yet, but without his mech, he's basically dead weight. James is trying to hide, and okay, he got away. Like 1 health, but still he persists. Sangarn will eventually be slept, but Wesley, nonce that he is, wakes him up. And now, Konal is gonna decide to just die on point. I think Philly might have tried to stagger him there. Now, granted, I am just so I am just speculating here, right? But I think that Philly just looked at Konal and was like, hey, let's stagger the Ana, without realizing that trying to stagger the Ana means that you're not capturing the point, because the Ana is standing on the point. I think that they realized pretty quickly, but I still think that that's really funny. Monkey dives right in. He's already half health. Sangarn is just gonna eat him alive because that's what Bastions do. Nanoblade, okay. Jameson? James? Smack, okay. Smecca gets out just a little bit. Just a little bit of life. I mean, you say London feeding, more like London saved by James. Sangarn has decided that's the end of the road for Bastion. He did the very best that he could, and now it's time to go onto the Tracer. Later, going on to the Brigitte. Not a bad idea. Opponent's running double flanker, so it's certainly at least a pretty good way to keep your team more stable, more sustained. Sangarn's still bouncing around. Honestly, doing his job as a flanker, okay. So far, at least in my book, but now looking at the enemy team. He's looking for a target to kind of seek after. And meanwhile, everything's kind of blowing up here in the fight, but the only thing that's actually physically exploding is the bongo from Heil going down to the Diva Bomb. Sangren manages to find the Ana. That's going to be pretty huge. The Philly side, and yep, one after another, it's just going to go down. This time, James doesn't have a Nano Blade to save things for the London side.
Calm yourself.
And she's back in the game.
London could go for a contest here. It looks like they're kind of deciding a bit, and by this point it's too late. They're not going to make it in time. James kind of struggling a bit. Almost gets caught low. If he'd been a single whip shot had gotten him there, he could have very easily been bursted down. Now we are about to get the Nano Blade combo. He's already way into the enemy backline, and this might be a little bit of an over-investment, but either way, it looks cool, doesn't it? How long has it been since we've seen so many blade dashes and kills in something that's like an official tournament? It's not really official, it's amateur, but still. Philly reverse sweep? Here's the thing. Philly could reverse sweep if London is now kind of falling back on their only real tool being the Nano Blade. Never mind. Sanger. What were you hoping to do with that? Smecca? He got him in the end with the fire strike, so you know it's okay in my book, and he even takes Grubmerk down with him as well. Smecca was just the absolute carry mad lad for his boys in orange.
Now to accelerate.
Bomb coming out. Jesus Christ. So, you know, at a certain point, I don't know if Wesley has gotten way smarter with Diva Bombs in the time between the regular season and playoffs, or if Philly just has no idea how to deal with it. James going in, almost missed the Nano Blade. In fact, I basically missed all of it, but you know what, it's fine, because I caught it at the very end. James on fire. In fact, basically all of London on fire, and I can't blame them. They've been doing pretty well so far. Gigantic ultimates coming out from literally all of the people who are currently blazing. Imagine getting 3K'd by Wesley. I know, right? Imagine. Couldn't be me. Reinhardt's coming from above. Smecca, what are you doing? What are you got? Ah! Oh my god! Smecca! More like Smackta! Smackdown! By the sleep dart. Sangren still up above, being Apache attack helicopter. Farah always wanted to be, dealing massive amounts of damage onto literally everyone in her path. This Genji, James, trying his very best, but they don't have a Nano Blade right now, and while they're coming up upon it pretty quickly, James still has to survive for so long in order to farm the rest of it. Sangren is going to be out of the equation now, getting taken out by the Wesley Bomb. Poco bombs, more like Wesley bombs. Am I right, boys? James, currently at 300 health. You gotta love the arm that the Brig provides, and now he has the blade. He's just waiting for Konow to get everything for that Nano. In fact, he doesn't even want it. He doesn't even need it. He's just gonna bring the blade out. Probably a bit of a mistake, as we see Smecca taking him out pretty quickly. Now Smecca going on a bit of a reign, a tear on his own. Besides, Philly told us that they didn't have an off-tank player. But what they didn't tell us was that Smecca considers Roadhog a main tank.
Starting match.
The only bad blade. It was the only bad blade, and it was the only one that didn't have nano. Maybe if James hadn't been so greedy about trying to you know, carry that fight without any support from his lads, then maybe, just maybe, things could have gone a little bit more their way.
Ready for battle.
That's going to be the difference from our boys in the orange jumpsuits. That's right, I'm saying that Philadelphia all go to prison. I'm saying that because they just murdered on their last push.
It's our new summer.
I'm really good today, boys. I'm really good. I don't know what it is. It's because it's been so long, but I'm feeling it today. I'm coming up. Maybe it's because I've been awake for like 20 hours now. Maybe. Anyway, let's see whether or not London can match, even surpass their time. We're going in with a triple tank dive. This is, as we like to lovingly call it, dotes. Dive goats. It's not really the normal dive goats comp. London runs it with a hamster ball where you'd usually have a Zarya. But we'll see whether or not this addition, this alteration of theirs benefits them whatsoever. With a quarter of James' ult charge already up, might not be such a bad call, and Turbo Carmen doing the damage, picking out Sangren, that puts it at numbers advantage. Also, point already being taken, already half of it grabbed for the boys on London. Right now, London is having their Frog Boy be the DPS, although Grubmark is not to be surpassed, wants to take out some people of his own. Manages to get a 3K himself for the support of his Ana for every single one. Turbo bouncing around. He sees enemy team. Junkrat was weak, but Alligator had already cleaned him up, so sorry, you were hoping to do something. Not today. And meanwhile, back on the cart. And now back to the fighting. Let's go. Grubmark gets them all. Well, really it was Wesley, but really it was Grubmark and Hart. Grubmark wanted to do it. He saw the opportunity, and you know what? I don't blame him. And now, back on the cart. And now back to the action. We see Monkey going back. Okay, maybe not much action is happening right now. Maybe not. But James is about to be able to use his minefield. Being able to cover this last point is going to be so powerful. They didn't even need it. Okay. Pretty good tech there from James. Keep that in mind. So if you just back off while jumping on the edge of a ledge, as Hamster Ball, you can pile drive right onto it. It's a pretty neat tech that gives them quite a lot of flexibility and strength in some difficult battles. But even though James was able to leverage that, a bit of an advantage for his team, they weren't able to capitalize on it, and there they fall. But James, he'll get Marvel Man for the team's troubles. Let's see if he actually manages to get out with his life. It's going to be a bit of a struggle, but for a Hamster Ball, there is no struggle too great. Sangren still just chipping away, biting at the heels like a little chihuahua. Finally, he'll take down the Achilles tendon of the Diva. Now, what was that about, Sangren? What were you thinking there?
Team up for special attack.
But I know that what James is thinking is that he wants to try and get some kills with these minefields, and with the help of that anti-nade onto the Aristilla, managed to at least kill her. And just take it in the you know, there you go. In the fighting, in the madness, London just walked it in. Alright.
Initiating
Okay.
match.
Sure.
Ready for battle.
Nothing's gonna
You're gonna see the first set defense
Attackers
from London. I mean, I say first. This is technically their second. But it's the first in overtime. So I stand by what I said. Did you just spell Chihuahua in like one of the worst possible misspellings that you could have misspelled Chihuahua?
One.
I know, checking in.
Remaining. Defend objective A.
That's embarrassing, Nair. Jesus. Anyway, what's gonna be more embarrassing is if Philly loses after they go goats here. Turbo manages to just slip out with his life, and he's gonna be testing the point on the ground floor. I'm gonna give his team a little bit of time, especially James, to kind of farm up this Riptire. That's gonna be the name of the game for them. Oh my god. Later still died. It was really well done from him to completely avoid that mine. If he had just gone in a little bit of a less predictable direction, he probably could have survived and helped his team, but by now, that's in the past, and we're looking towards the future, and it's a pretty bleak one for the Philly boys.
10 seconds.
At this stage, their playoff chances are looking pretty dismal, to say the very least, considering that all that the side of London now has to do is take a single tick, and they will be out.
Score 3-3. Switching sides.
Their entire run depends on their ability
Initiating match.
to full hold first of Numbani for 5.5 minutes without even giving up a tick. I'll be honest, lads. I think that if NYXL themselves had to do this against our London boys, I think they'd struggle. I think they'd still do it. Make no mistake. But I think they would struggle.
Attackers
Unless they just like completely spawn camped London, which is also a very strong possibility. I'm talking about NY because I don't think that Philly's gonna do that. But yeah, you know, the more that I think about it, the less favorable that matchup is for London. So you know what? I'm just gonna leave it at giving them that compliment. That's all I'm gonna give them. Anyway, we see basically dive from London. Dive with, instead of where you would normally have a Mercy Zen, they have the Lucio for the speed and the Ana for the nano boost. It'll be kind of interesting. I mean, it certainly plays some strengths, and now as we see the Brig, it's purpled. It won't really be enough to push things into their team's favor just yet, especially as James is actually the first one to go down. That's going to be pretty bad for the side of London, but that is going to be the first nail in the coffin if this ends up going in London's direction, though. It's kind of difficult for Konout to keep track of all the people that he has to keep alive. They're all dying at once. He can't afford to start missing shots, and even though he's hit basically all of them, everyone's dead. Konout already has his ultimate. So does Cyber, but in comparison to someone like James, it's certainly very impressive what the tank line and the supports of the London squad have managed to do here. Sangaren kind of looking around. He knows that he has to get set up somewhere a little bit safer. And I say that, he's already dead. Things are gonna get worse before they get better here for Philly. They're laying down some ultimates here, throwing out the blizzard, but they weren't able to capitalize and find anything off of it. So how much is it really gonna matter in the end? The alligator now being purpled, and it's looking rough. I don't think that anyone's going to be able to touch, and that is going to be the end of Philly's run in the AHC's season. Playoff. London is going to move on. But Philly, they're done for. Kaput.
Play of the game.
Yeah. You know, even though it's a nano blade, and I know that like nano blades are pretty easy, it always just looks very impressive. Doesn't it? It always just looks incredibly impressive. I'm being asked if that's a game because it's playoffs, and it's unfortunate that I have to say that yes. That's going to be it for the side of Philly. They're gone. They're out. Demolished. Smashed. Mulched. Chewed alive. Disintegrated. And now Smecca, huh? Well, isn't that interesting? Here's the thing. Normally, you're right, Kiko. It would be interview time, but here's the thing. London and Philly have decided to go one more round. Philly's season is over, but London, mainly because Philly has kind of said that they want to test out strats, London is extending them the courtesy of saying, sure, we'll play the last map. So this isn't going to be for anything. It's already decided. But, you know what? I think it's kind of them to give Philly one more chance to maybe, just maybe, go out on a high note here. And with that being said, let's take a look at what our final map is going to be. And ladies and gentlemen, you love to see it. It's Dorado. My favorite map in the game. Then interview time. Then it will be interview time. Here's the thing, Kigo. I don't know if I can really do interviews. Because the way that Streamlabs OBS is set up is really weird. So if I interview people, it will probably have to be through Discord. So I haven't tested that, and I don't know if it'll work, but we will try it. And with that being said, let me take a quick look here. Both teams are ready to go. And with that, ladies and gents, this will be Philadelphia Fusion's final map of this season. Let's see if they manage to bring themselves up one last victory.
Traveling to Dorado. Initiating match.
Oh, and also, I didn't change anything, but the colors are still correct. So I guess that it was just like a bug the one time that they kind of messed up. Okay. I want to cast Soul Game with him.
Ready for
I
battle.
mean, you can. Well, okay. So, alright, Bread, we can try it. But here's the thing. I can't technically be in a party if I'm using, like, the setup that I'm using. So, we can try and see if it'll work. If you watch the game, and then we go into, like, the same voice chat in Discord, we can try that, but it may or may not work. So we'll try it. Anyway, in either case, we're seeing the attack coming out. It's okay. 5 support, 1 main tank. Okay. Well, this is a strat that Philly wanted to show us, and its greatest weakness has already been shown as the Ana anti-nades the Reinhardt, basically making all of that massive amounts of healing basically useless. And now James is going to come in, getting a pick or two, and really nothing much that you can say about that. Later's going to try and get out with his life, and thankfully, due to the Doom nurse, he's going to be able to escape pretty much unharmed. Same can probably not be said about Sangern here. Never mind, Sangern got out. Okay. Yeah, Sangern's kind of acting as a secondary tank here, and I kind of understand why. It's not too weird to run him in that capacity. Still not able to kill James. James is still just kind of running roughshod on him. But, yikes. Yikes. Basically, Philadelphia, I like the idea of this composition, but this is probably like the worst map in the game to run it on. There's way too many different ways that you can be attacked. There's way too many different ways that someone like a Doomfist or someone like an Ana can just like peek around over you and either throw in an anti-nade or look and find a way to dive in. And we're seeing that in spades here. Turbo will actually be the first one to fall, and James will be slept. He was figured out by Smeka. Smeka knew exactly what he was going to do, predicted it, and got the drop on him instead. Those are the big brain plays that Philly is going to try and bring to the rest of this round. They're going to have to if they want to win with this interesting comp that they have going. Grub and Conout are both going to be caught out here. Conout's trying to save things with that pistol, but it's over. I didn't even realize, but London is respecting the situation and running 5 supports and a Doomfist themselves. Huh. Grub's dead. Okay. Just absolutely deleted. And back on the card. We see Sangern. Grub will get rezzed. Of course he will. And Alligator. So that might be a pretty key part of their strategy here. Notice that even when the Rhine was getting low, Kyle didn't ever try to heal him. Kyle just kept the damage boost on the Rhine, which is kind of interesting. I assume that the idea is to give him the damage boost and have everyone else heal him. But as we see, there are some weaknesses there, like when you just take so much damage that it doesn't really matter how much healing you're getting. Alligator swinging away, sees the opportunity, strikes! Takes out 3. Marvel Man may have been the one who confirmed the kill onto Grub Merc, but he was basically dead by the time that hammer swing was starting to go down into the earth. Alligator perhaps going a little bit too deep here. He's playing in Doomfist's face right now. This is a very tight, close corridor, and that's where Doomfist really starts to thrive. He just kind of bounce you around, and Ryan, he gets a little bit discombobulated. We see that there. It seemed like he got disconnected from his healers, and Alligator was taking out very smoothly.
Get behind me.
Marvel trying to keep his team alive with this transcendence, but they weren't really able to find much. They finally get the kill onto James, and that might make the difference, really. That's basically all of the damage now gone, except I forgot that healers in this game do a massive amount of damage. Isn't that funny? So Cybersaurus and Wesley both able to clean up whatever damage their fallen knight wasn't around to put in the bin for them. And now it's just 2 minutes left. So granted, Philly can still kind of come up with things in order to try and deal with the current situation, but it's an interesting situation, isn't it? Alligator actually basically has the trump card here, though. So Alligator will always have this shatter, basically, and because the enemy team has no shield other than Brig's shield, it should be pretty easy for him to at least get 2 in an Earth Shatter.
You're powered up. Get in there.
And he tried to Earth Shatter a Valking Mercy, who was flying in the air.
Heroes never die.
He tried to Earth Shatter
Special delivery
a
on the
Mercy
way.
that was flying, and it's not even gonna matter, because later just almost seen it. Almost. He didn't quite get it, but he almost did, and now he's beating. Why would you be? Who cares? Marvel Man still has his ultimate to keep his team going. Alligator's gonna get the first kill onto Wesley. Not very difficult. Bit of a nonce on anything other than Diva. James, the next domino to fall, and Konow has now gone onto the Widowmaker. He wants to see if he can secure his team a little bit in the way of picks, but he's just going to be picked off himself with that Bionade. At the very least, Philadelphia is going to capture second point, get chugging along onto third. James is probably trying to find a position here where he can begin to assault the enemy team the same way they did on the first point. Not quite getting there just yet, but now he sees Zenyatta, you're mine. Except he misses the punch. So, getting burned a little bit here. The healer needs a little bit of protection themselves, and later will be the one who provides just that.
Meteor strike!
Man, that was a weird looking animation. Also, James has 5 health, so he's going to be using that ultimate to get out of dodge.
Not as young as he is.
Alligator still has his Earthshare. There's still no shield. He does use it, and he gets the Lucio, but no one's actually going to capitalize on that now. We got the Boostio, boys. Let's go. Lucio. Doing stuff. Not really. Almost dying? Lives. Okay. But the opposing Transcendence is ready to come out. Marvel decides now is the time. Not too bad of an idea. Unfortunately, his teammates for Purple didn't quite benefit from it the way they probably wanted them to.
Heroes never die.
Alligator's now looking around, swinging for the fences. James on that McCree, so powerful with that Fan the Hammer buff. Absolutely, probably overpowered, really. But you know what? It's fine, because Fan the Hammer McCree is best McCree. Let's see if James can leverage that into something that manages to get his team to stop the enemy from getting this full capture here. We see him. We've all seen this before in our comp games. We've all seen this sneaky play. Let's see if it actually finds anything. It doesn't, because everyone else is hiding behind a shield or a pillar or something. Things are getting worse a lot faster than they're getting better for London's. Philadelphia are going to walk this in and manage to at least finish their push.
Score 0-3. Switching sides. Initiating match.
So now, if you're London, you kind of got something to prove here, don't you? You said sure. We'll go a 4th map. Sure, okay. And then you see the enemy team and they're running 5 supports and a main tank, and you're like, come on, guys. Come on. This plays to our strengths. Like I said, London is like a team of support mains. So they gotta be thinking to themselves, hey, this is our turf.
Ready for battle.
This is our game now. And then what happens? You let them get all the way to the end. You let that happen. And now guess what?
Attackers incoming in
You boys on Philly
A little more time to get ready.
are actually running 6 supports. And that's something. And that's something. Ben, playoffs work like a normal tournament. So, you know, because Philly loses here, they're out. Right? Single elimination.
attackers incoming. Escort the payload.
5 tanks from London. I mean, I think London wins, to be honest. I think probably London wins with 5 tanks compared to 5 supports. But we'll see. Smeka's taken out. That's going to be basically like the majority of the utility for Philly already dead immediately. That felt good. And now Philly is going eye for an eye. They're gonna run 5 tanks. Okay. Smeka kills Grubmerk. That's a good entry kill, to say the very least. Now they can go in on this. They see Turbo coming in. He's been overextended for this entire game, but they finally figured out a way to punish him. They just have to go literally like 7 things that counter Lucio. So yeah, it's quad tank now for Philly compared to the Quinn tank that the opposition is running. And you know what? I think Philly probably has the advantage because they don't have 1 healer. And now London's changing it up. They're going 5 DPS. I still think the tanks win here, to be honest. But, we'll see. We'll see. Sanger's gonna be taking down to half health. That's not a position you want to be in as the hamster ball. Turbo. Take it down. Easy. Grub makes the kill onto the monkey, but there's still so many thick bodies that London have to try and go through here. I don't think it's gonna be quite happening anytime soon. Never mind, they're dying. Never mind. Smeka's killing them all. It do be like that sometimes. Honestly, I'm just giving us like an extended view of this because with 5 DPS and 4 tanks, make that 5 tanks now. There's just gonna be way too much happening. So you just get all of it. Try and digest it for yourself, because I know that I can. Monkey jumping around. He's hulking out. Just kind of going after somebody. Smeka leaping down. Cybersaur's blowing people up. Sanger getting kills somehow. Grubmerk's probably gonna die here. There he goes. We're at 45 seconds left. Konal just kind of sitting around. Honestly, Konal's just kind of been sitting like up in the skies as the Valking Mercy for like the entire ultimate. Who can blame him? Who can do anything but just kind of sit back and watch all this madness? That bomb was way too high. If it wasn't, probably would have been absolutely massive. almost as massive as Wesley's bombs have been this entire set. Dragon comes through, kills Marble Man. Cyber comes in, kills Smecha. You see a little bit of variety here now, as later is actually a DPS hero. Haven't seen that on the Philly side like all game, I think.
Checking in.
And now it's triple tank. Nah, never mind. It's all changing around. Quad DPS and the hamster balls are gonna go everywhere. I'll finally deciding his poison of choice is Genji. We got 6 DPS versus 5 DPS on a Mercy. And again, all I can really do is go in third person. Cyber gets a kill on the Marble Man. Okay. Marble Man, what were you doing up so far? Why weren't you behind your shield? Oh wait, neither team has a shield. Thing is that one hero is going to benefit from that way more than all the others. In fact, really 2. It's going to be Cybersaurus. Actually, you know what, never mind. It's DPS heroes. Literally all of them benefit from there being no shields anywhere. What was I even talking about? Sangern just kind of trying to do something. He's a stalling cart now. James realizes that something's happening. And finally, Sangern takes Kone out with him and kills himself. This is either quick play or mystery heroes. Well, you see, the thing is that at least in mystery heroes, you have a chance of getting like a normal composition of some kind. This entire game, it's just been madness. Wesley just got 2K. If that isn't one of the most unbelievable things to happen all game, I actually don't know what is. Dragons just killed Hell and later. Okay. I don't even know what to say, because there's nothing to track here. There's like, other than the time, we're now at 1.5 minutes, all that's been happening is that slowly London is grinding Philly to an absolute paste. Now coming in with the Blizzard is Marble Man, so maybe he can do something here, but Wesley's already killed half of his team. Marble Man survives, he just keeps on freezing. He's not even using the ice pick. He's not even going for the kill. He just keeps on freezing. And the whole time, the Cartmus is moving forward.
Get over here now.
Heroes never die.
I am in pain watching this. The reason being, this is a mess. You're correct. But the worst part about it is that they just went to overtime, which means we have to watch at least 2 more rounds.
Where were we?
Initiating.
We have to watch a whole nother attack, and then a whole nother attack after that. Grub trying to Genji. I didn't even realize that Grub was trying to play Genji. I didn't even get it, because there was just way too much happening literally everywhere else. I think that Marble Man might be, perhaps he was trying to see if he could toss a nade onto like the perch where the enemies usually hide at. I know that there is a spot where you can nade that, but I haven't figured it out. Oh, look at that! Isn't that such a nice image? If I could make that the what is it called, thumbnail of this VOD, then I would do that. I would have made that the image. That was pretty nice. It's certainly better than literally everything else that's been happening. Also, look at this mess. They literally knew he naded all of them.
Keep out of my way.
Oh my god. Okay.
Reinhardt, but not today.
Oh my god. He got all of them. He literally, like, the shields, the defense matrix, all of it was facing the wrong side. You're dead. Feels bad. I think Sangern just tried to suicide himself and hopefully take some of the enemy with him, which really just feels like this entire round so far. Oh, silly rabbits. Best of 5 is for kids. Yeah, rabbits. So the round is already decided. London's already won, but they wanted to give Philly one more round because Philly asked for it. So we're doing this mess. It's not a round that really means anything, but we're doing it regardless. And you know what? I think it probably tops literally every other round for, like, the worst thing I've ever had to cast. So, before, it was like Route 66 when Grubb was on Bastion flanking Philly. And then after that, a little bit, like, pretty middle of the season was Power Plug kind of carrying as Bastion on Gibraltar. But this just takes it. This just takes the whole thing. And now, London's running a mirror of what Philly ran at the very beginning, but they're having Wesley be on the main tank. Why are they having Wesley be on the main tank? I don't know, but we already see how big of a mistake that was, with how Wesley had absolutely no idea what direction to go, no idea how to hold his shield, and no idea really even right now of what to do other than just kind of not die. Wesley, you don't deserve that teabag. You actually don't. I'm actually infuriated that he just did that. Sanger got the kill. Okay. Sanger got that kill. Okay.
No one can hide from my sight.
Yeah, you messed that one up, but this is a pretty hard shot to hit. Blade is on the Doomfist. He's dead. And I think this is how Philadelphia's season ends. Not with a bang, but with a whimper. Yep, there they go. His left. Okay.
Play of the game.
Okay. F's in the chat for our boys, Philadelphia Poggers. Their season may have been a bit tumultuous, but I like to think that their final game was perhaps the worst of all. And London will probably get the only 4th point of this entire playoffs, because I don't think it would literally be possible to get another game where we go 4 points in playoffs. Yikes. Okay. Okay. Alright. So now I get the honor of interviewing either Conald or Cyber. Okay. Alright. So now, let's see if this even works, because it might not. Okay, boys, I am going into the general voice channel. I swear to God, if literally anyone else in the server comes in here, I will make it my mission to get you banned. Hey, Grub, can you hear me? Oh my God, hold on, I can fix this. I can't hear you if you can hear me. Voice and video. Come on. Hello? 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 Yeah, I know that you can't hear him because I can't hear him either. Hello? 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 Hey, can you hear me now?
Yo, everyone join.
Okay, hold on. Can the people on stream hear him now? They should.
Can you
be
not
able
hear me,
to.
really?
I can hear you, but I need
Okay,
to know if they can.
you want the whole team or just one? Yeah, whole team's coming. Whole
It
team's
doesn't
coming.
matter.
Alright. Go, man.
Yeah, that's
How'd
it.
you like the
Okay.
performance?
Well, hello.
Hello. Okay, lads. So, first.
Absolutely fucking rolled. No. Hold on. Let me talk. Let me speak. Absolutely rolled. Trash can team. I'm not gonna lie. The moment that Simka went captain, it was the moment of the downfall. I saw it. I saw the tree. I saw it falling down. I was like, Timber. They need to fire some head coaches out here or something, dude. Man, it needs to be main coach, and we need to not listen to Simka anymore. On May got fucking rolled on Numbani trash can. We dissected them like a dog. We were just like, whoo, whoo, whoo. Gone. Wanted to run Bastion. Trash ass. They should have called Plug Up. They could have given him some tips. All right, I'm done.
Okay, dude.
Okay. I mean, I guess you're right, because they lost in the first round. So,
I mean, it feels bad when you get put up against the best team in the first round. You don't have any time to prepare for the best.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad for them.
Yep. Yeah, I get that. I get that. So, just.
I don't even know who we play next, but they're gonna get rolled too. Silver.
You know what? I think that your team has the confidence to do that, at the very least.
Nah, everybody walked into this place like, oh, I'm nervous, dude. They got the Sangren carry, the alligator carry. I was like, nah, fuck that, dude. They got the Simka throw. It's all right.
Crap. Literally nobody said that.
Dude, but that's what went on in my head, though, dude. That's what matters. That's real. That's what really matters.
Okay.
Hey, stream.
So, you got something to say to the stream? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Twitch.tv.
God fucking damn it.
Give it a fucking follow. Let's go, dude.
Shut the fuck
Wait,
up.
everyone's shouting out their Twitches?
No.
No, just
we're
me,
not.
dude. I'm the only one that gets the plug.
Okay, just you did.
He's the
'Cause, you
only
know.
one. Okay. So,
I can tell you
talking
the
about
reason they
the
lost.
actual set. Talking about the actual set. This is my interview. Shut up.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay. So first off, the last game technically didn't even matter. So, was there anything about that game that you lot thought was particularly noteworthy. Like anything where you thought, oh, so they're going 5 support and a Reinhardt. I guess, like, who made the call of like, well, boys,
Wesley,
you know what
of
this
course,
means?
you got to play the Rhine.
Okay. Wesley decided to mirror them. Okay.
Not really.
Locked out.
Okay.
It's ridiculous to see any other team to try to play 5 supports except us.
I mean, I said as much. I said as much that of all the teams, it would be London who could play 5 supports and probably be okay.
Yeah. We were actually predicting like a tank heavy comp, and then we just went for many DPS because we wanted to try something.
So a bit different. Something a bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we thought
It was
our
a bit-
strat was
A bit stupid to play even a 4th map because we couldn't trust that we have in our pockets. Just because, like, why would we do it?
Understandable.
yeah.
So
When you're asking like what was worth it, like nothing was worth it. It was basically waste of time, but for
alright.
them at least.
Okay.
Man, you guys are.
So as for the
Fuck,
actual set itself, you guys did technically win 3-0 before we went into the extra map. Was
4-0, correct.
Yes, you did technically win 4-0, which is something that no other team in the playoffs will probably do, because we're probably not going to play a 4th map anywhere else, if some team has already gotten 3 wins. Jesus. Is there anything you have to say about the 3 maps beforehand? Any thoughts
on,
about the enemy team's
Volskaya.
play, about your own play? Go ahead.
I think on Volskaya, if we didn't went back to Ryan, he wouldn't have got the shatter off, and we would have just actually full health. Well, not full health Volskaya, but full health second. But I stayed the ball for too long because I was getting mine, and then
So-
used them too early at that point.
So you're not giving these lads anything. You're literally saying, if I had made one less mistake, you literally wouldn't have achieved nothing.
I think their downfall was actually just not putting Assassin on Diva and letting who the fuck let Law go Winston and have some on DPS then they would have had an actual dive team comp probably. Instead they
Maybe.
kept going these weird like double shield Bastion team comps that kept getting like
Yeah, but you kind of just also need to point out that they tried to play with their strengths, because they had like 3 really like Reinhardt players, Winston Orisa, just like a tank mains in a lineup. So why you force them to roles that they are not comfortable with? So I understand the double main tank, it was a bit weird. Then Symmetra, Bastion, maybe as some strategy that's like easy to pull out. Price moment. Shanghai does it a lot. Like they had to do something like that, especially because like I feel like they weren't that confident when they against us.
I think
Understand.
they
what you're
played.
saying is like that they had no real strengths to play with. It was that they were doing that led to the downfall. The fact that they had some the reason they couldn't build a noteworthy.
Unfortunate to have only 6 players available for both teams actually.
Yeah, I think we'd scrimmed against Shanghai quite soon before this game, and we had to adapt to the Bastion during that. So the way that we played against the Bastion during that game was a lot more controlled. Everyone kind of knew what they were doing during that Bastion attack. So I think that kind of led to a lot of the.
You know, going up against Plug, just gotta the Bastion. We didn't expect to hear.
Well, I think that's about all that we have time for, especially after Grub took half the interview and used it as a goddamn podium.
Hey man,
But,
it's fun. It's fun interview.
Yeah. So we're about to have, let's see, what is it? Next game will be Shanghai versus Seoul. So that
Seoul
should
where?
be an interesting game.
Interesting.
It will
Yeah.
be one of the most close ones, right? And it's only for the
That's
quarterfinals
gonna-
spot already.
That's
It
gonna be
might-
close.
It might be close for bad reasons, but it might be
I
close.
just gotta tell don't underestimate
Yeah.
Shanghai, dude. They'll fucking roll you.
Well, we will see
Wait.
again. That game will be starting fairly soon. As for right now, I think that is good enough. We have done
Okay, I see
more
you. See you
than
later.
enough. Adios, lads.
Yes.
Good luck in your next round.
Right a bit.
Good trivia.
And with that, again, as I've just told them, we'll be going on to our next round in just a little bit. It'll be Shanghai versus Seoul. Two teams. I'm going to call them the dark horses of the tournament. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say they're the teams that no one perhaps really expects will win, but if there's some miracle that they did, it will certainly be something to go down in the history books. And with that, I think we are good to just leave it be and move on to the next chapter of this league. Adios. I'll end the stream and restart it so we can have a fresh VOD for the next game. We invite to a group trivia. Brett, I will invite you to a group.